This is the Codcast. All things Whitby Town FC.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition. I'm Andrew Smith and I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by Paul Connolly from the Whitby Town media side. Yes, it was a frenetic week last week, Paul, with all the new signings coming in. This week it's been more about securing a couple of local lads.
Yeah, it certainly has. Like you said, we were certainly very busy last week, obviously with several arrivals. But yeah, this week it's been that more of a focus on sort of filling the squad out and bringing in those sort of young players from the back end of last season and giving them, the platform and the chance to have some success with the club as well. The likes of obviously Tommy Dowson being there. Tommy's a really tidy footballer, a good passer of the ball. He works very hard and he's very highly rated. So he'll be a welcome addition. We tried to get him in at the back end of last season, and how it ended up going was we didn't quite get that done in time. So he never got that sort of chance to prove himself at the back end of last season. But obviously, he's been away for a year with Guisborough Town. He's gone and he's won the Northern League with them, and putting some very impressive performances. And for a Whitby lad, I think the highlight will probably be scoring against Scarborough in the North Riding Senior Cup for Guisborough. And obviously, Tommy's a really good footballer, really tidy one, and one that we'll look forward to seeing in pre-season. Bully mentioned a few weeks ago he'll be coming in as an equal, and knowing Tommy and the character that he has, he'll come in and he will work hard and he will sort of want to prove himself. And I think it'll be a very exciting one for Whitby fans to watch. Then obviously as well, Callum Wilson's been obviously signed on for next season. He's been around the club now for a couple of seasons, and he's had one or two sort of cameo appearances. He started a game towards the back end of the 24-25 season. And when he's been on the field, he hasn't looked overawed at any point. He's put in some very good, solid performances as a right back, and he's somebody that now wants to sort of take that chance to go out and prove himself and earn a place within the squad for Whitby. And it's nice to have players like Cal again, he's got a fantastic attitude. He always wants to learn. He always wants to better himself. He always wants to improve. And that sort of is testament to him, and it shows why Gary Little wanted to keep him around. It shows why Bully wanted to keep him around as well. So, yeah, two very good players there. And then obviously Jack Kilpatrick being the third one. He's going to come back in for pre-season. He's an exciting attacking player. He scored plenty of goals for the under-18s last year, top goal scorer, I believe. And yeah, he's just a really exciting player. We speak about, Tommy going out and getting the experience at Guisborough last year. Obviously, we speak about Cal Wilson getting the experience within the squad. Obviously, we saw we saw Jack at the back end of last season against FC United and Morpeth. And I think that Whitby fans were very happy to see him on the pitch and also quite impressed as well, because, he didn't look overawed. He didn't look fazed. He was getting hold of the ball and he was running at people. He was trying to cause FC United problems, trying to cause other teams problems. So, yeah, I think it's a really exciting signing. And, I think we've got three players there who, really want to be at the football club, really want to prove themselves at the football club. And, if all things go well for them, have the real potential to go on and make a name for themselves within this club.
Absolutely. Yeah, and let's speak to Jack Kilpatrick right now.
So Jack obviously signed first team form for Whitby Town for the 26-27 season. Just first of all, your reaction?
I'm buzzing. It's a team I've grew up watching from young, and it's good for my family to see me playing at this good level for Whitby, at a very good level. Yeah. I can't wait for the challenge to meet the new lads as well. That'll be brilliant.
Spot on. So obviously, back in the last season, Jack, you came into the football club, made your debut. What was that experience like?
Well, yeah, it was brilliant, especially in front of how many fans were there, and against FC United as well. They have a big following and very good players. I was also grateful for Bully for giving me his trust in a relegation battle as well, which is massive. And it was very good playing with the players that I played with, the experienced players as well. They helped me settle in real quick, and I was over the moon with that. I'm hoping to repay Bully for his trust in me by building on what I had last season.
Obviously, Tommy Dowson signed for the football club, fellow sort of local lad. He's somebody that you've played with over the years as well, growing up. Tell us a little bit more about him and the relationship you have with him.
Tommy's a great lad. He's also a great footballer. He's one of them players who can run for days, and he's a very good passer of the ball as well. I've played with him since about 8-year-old. We've built a strong connection through football, and hopefully we can do this at the club as well.
So obviously you came into the first team set up from the club's under-18s. Just tell us a little bit more about that experience.
I joined about halfway through the season. The lads were very good with me. They took me in well as like the first team. I started off very strong, scoring a few goals, which led me to being the top goal scorer at the end of the season. Also Steve, the manager, he put his faith in me. He gave me the chances and it paid off. And also my performances for the 18s gave me the chance to train with the first team and break out obviously and play a few games, which was brilliant.
This is the Codcast.
That was Jack Kilpatrick speaking to Paul earlier on, and Paul mentioned Tommy Dowson. He caught up with Liam earlier in the week.
Tommy, first of all, congratulations on the signing for Whitby Town. How does it feel to officially become a Whitby Town first team player?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, spoke to Polly and said everything that I wanted to hear. He wants hungry players in, young players, so I thought I fitted into that. So hopefully just prove myself at the level.
Yeah, and being a local lad as well, I'm sure it means quite a bit more to come and have to represent your hometown club.
Yeah, definitely. It was somewhere where I wanted to come. Definitely, I had that connection. So I think that was definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Whitby.
Yeah, and well known sort of for your footballing ability in the wider community, but sort of getting introduced to Whitby Town as one of the academy players. What sort of things did you learn there?
Yeah, I mean it's a great pathway. I've seen people coming through, so I've seen an example of that. So yeah, it was a brilliant platform for me as well. That exposure when Lids and JK were here. I had that exposure to come in and train with them. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and then of course being involved as well at Gisborough Town last season, what sort of things did you learn about stepping up to senior football?
Yeah, I think it's just tactically really, everyone was great with me. So Nathan, all the management team, the lads, have took to me really well. So I think it's just the tactical side of the game. Learned a lot about myself, how I deal with certain situations. So yeah, definitely it was a good experience.
Yeah, and I know as well, perhaps not evolved as much towards the end of the season, but in terms of being that that very much a winning mentality, that team at Gisborough as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw the reward at the end of the season for all the hard work we put in. So yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't get the game time that I really wanted at the end of the season, and spoke about that with Nathan. So, but he wanted to go down a route of more experienced lads, which I fully get. I'm a young lad wanting to break through, so it's frustrating at times, but I'm learn from it, and just push on.
Yeah, and you've already sort of mentioned what you've learnt from it, but what sort of things have you noticed are the main differences between academy and senior football?
I think it's just the physicality. You've got to adapt really well. I've worked really hard in the gym. Trying to get myself up to that standard of physicality and trying to battle a little bit more. So yeah, definitely just physicality.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the Whitby supporters probably have seen you play in some capacity, but for those that haven't, what sort of best describes your style of play?
Yeah, I think I can adapt to different games really well. Like I said, if the game's a bit more physical, I think I have that bit about me. I'll never shy away from a tackle, and I like to get the ball down and play. So yeah, just a mix of those two really.
Yeah, and what would you say now that you've had that sort of bit of a senior experience under your belt? What would you say you're sort of looking to improve on the most now?
I think basically it's just my all-round game. I think I've got another level to get to, and hopefully at Whitby, I can get that out of me. Just prove myself at the level, and yeah, just hopefully, just like I said, just try to push on.
Yeah, and in terms of what Bully and Denny have said to you about your role, you're sort of expecting, I guess, to be patient, but what sort of your personal aims for the club this season?
Yeah, I mean, I want to come in and ultimately help the team and have my own impact. I think I've came here because I want to prove myself, and I plan on doing that. Yeah, so we'll just see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just finally, you had a bit of a taste of it in pre-season last year here, but how much would it mean for you to sort of walk out in front of a home crowd here on a league game?
It's great. I know a lot of people around the club, and it's well supported. So hopefully, just come out here and see a lot of familiar faces, and just get playing how I want to play.
This is the Codcast.
That's Tommy Dowson speaking to Liam Ryder, who's gallivanting around Eastern Europe. You might well have seen him sporting his Whitby Town away strip over in, appropriately not too far away from Transylvania, just over the border in Hungary for that one. But Liam will be back with us next week. Paul's back from the land of cuckoo clocks and luxury chocolate, aka Switzerland, back on terra firma. Little bit different over on the railway, I imagine, weather-wise, or perhaps not.
It wasn't too bad. I think the only day we had a bit of rain was the final day, but yeah, it was a good week, and got my town shirt out over there as well while I was up towards the Matterhorn in Zermatt. So yeah, obviously we kept Whitby Town represented as well, which is always the task at hand.
Absolutely correct. Let's hear from the Whitby Town manager, Lee Bullock, now. So yeah, Bully, we'll start off with it will be training next week. It's jumped upon us really, a bit of an exciting time. It's all starting again, and yeah, you'll be getting the lads in and a few new faces to see, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll be in Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday this week. So you're right. I know we've had a hell of a lot of work to do. It's flew by, and looking forward to concentrating on a bit of football now rather than just constantly talking to players and numbers and figures. Do what we enjoy, which is football. So yeah, Tuesday, roll on.
Yeah, indeed. And I was going to say, obviously, we had a frenetic week last week. Lots of signings made in a short space of time. Not so much this week, but I'm guessing that doesn't mean that you haven't been pretty busy on the phone, in touch with players.
Yeah, every single night this week, been out meeting, talking to players. It's been a good week and a frustrating week at the same time. We've missed out on another major target who we'd put a lot of time, effort, and a very good contract to, but he's gone to a level higher. So sometimes you just got to accept defeat for that. It's the right reasons of playing high level football. I'll take that all day long. But then I'm hopeful start the next week, and we might have a little busy spell again, because like you say, I've had a really busy week of talking to players, and there's a lot going on. It's just not quite ready yet.
And finally, Bully, just a message for supporters ahead of the new season. As you say, lots going on, lots of players being spoken to, and presumably lots of reason to be optimistic.
Yeah, definitely. But like you said, it's almost a whole new squad, barring a couple of lads. So there'll be plenty new faces. And we wouldn't have trialist A, B, C, D, E, and F. We're probably going to have quite a few, especially initially. The lads will come and go. I'm not going to lie, we're still struggling to get that main centre forward in, so that could well go right the way through pre-season, and lads will get opportunities up there, and we're looking out for someone to lead our line, someone to score the goals and create the goals and help the wider lads score goals. So yeah, that's probably the only frustration I've got at the minute. Is it's proven very difficult to get the centre forward in, but it's not just us. There's a lot of clubs are looking for strikers. There's a lot of clubs have a few decent ones, and obviously they're keeping them. There's clubs like us who are desperate for one. So that's the frustration. The other part of it, looking forward to a team who are looking forward to getting going and a whole new Whitby Town. So what is it, a week on Saturday? We'll be off the mask after 5 or 6 training sessions.
This is the Codcast.
That's Lee Bullock, who caught up with me earlier on. We continue to count down. Not too long now, Paul. Just over a week to go, and that first pre-season trip to Mask United, it's kind of crept up on us a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's come out of nowhere, really, Goose, in terms of that. It's one of them, you sort of think that the summer months will be, slow and they'll be boring, but with the way that this summer's gone, it certainly hasn't been the case. There's been so much going on from Whitby Town point of view. Obviously, we players coming through the door, and we've been sort of looking at, oh well, this player's available, will he sign? This one's gone somewhere else, and obviously we've seen other players move on. So I mean, from our point of view, it's been quite exciting. It's been quite a busy summer, and obviously with that, the time passes just that little bit quicker, doesn't it? So yeah, it's certainly snuck up on us, and we're only a couple of weeks away. The lads will be back in training on Tuesday night up at Northfield. Bully's been sorting all the equipment and everything out, so that's sort of crept up on us as well, and it'll be, that first chance soon to see some very exciting players in a Whitby Town shirt for the first time, and obviously, we'll be playing our usual game as well, won't we? On This Is the Course, when we're doing the radio commentary of who's that trialist, and trialist passes to trialist B, and etc. etc. So yeah, that certainly keeps our great matter ticking over on the commentary, and yeah, obviously it's one of those. It's the hard work starting now from sort of all areas. I know obviously the hard work hasn't really stopped for Bully, and it certainly hasn't stopped for members of the committee, and the likes of Paul Walker, the secretary, and all of those sort of people. But yeah, in terms of the footballing side, the hard work will definitely start on Tuesday night, and yeah, it's going to be the start of a big pre-season for Bully and Denny Ingram.
Indeed, Paul mentioned some of those off-field volunteers. Pete Graham's one of those, looking ahead to the Gala Day and lots more going on. Here's the latest from Pete.
Hello, listeners. It's Pete here. A big thank you to Andrew, Paul and Liam for keeping us updated via the weekly Codcast. I've been asked to remind listeners how they can help support the club financially. Firstly, a big thank you to Martin Hart, Bev Rutherford and their helpers for a very successful centenary celebration fundraiser. Also, a big thank you to the 300 attendees, which included former players, managers and officials of the club. Also, a very big thank you to the very generous prize donators for the raffle and also for the auction. Currently, for £10, you can have your name or company on a pitch square, which will be displayed on social media, in the programme and in Turnbull's Bar. Pay via the Whitby Town Club Shop link on Facebook. A popular fundraiser is the 1926 Fund, where you can make a one-off donation for whatever amount you wish to pay, be it large or small, simply by contacting treasurer@whitbytownfc.com or commercial@whitbytownfc.com. If you don't want to make a direct donation, why not make contact regarding a pledge, be it £2 a goal, £10 a win, £20 a clean sheet, £50 an FA Cup win, £200 for reaching the playoffs. Once the club achieves what you've pledged, this is when you pay. So if it's not achieved, you don't need to pay. How about sponsoring a player or one of the management team for £200? Also, season tickets are currently on sale too. Not forgetting, Owen Cox is doing an excellent job organising Gala Day 2026, which is on the 26th of July this year, with live music, five-a-side junior football, stalls, attractions and various draws, tombolas, etc. throughout the day. Gala Day / summer draw tickets have just arrived and are £1 each or £5 a book. Get in touch if you would like to purchase or sell tickets. So far, we have over 30 excellent prizes and all generously donated as are the ticket printing costs. Remember, every ticket sold is £1 profit for Whitby Town Football Club. If you have a business or company or work for one, how about getting in touch with commercial at whitbytownfc.com to request a commercial brochure and or meeting to discuss options. Finally, please give what you can when you can to help Lee and Denny and their almost new squad have a successful season. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.
This is the Codcast.
That's Pete Graham speaking to me earlier on in the week. Thank you very much to all our guests on this week's show, to Paul Connolly, to Jack Kilpatrick, to Tommy Dowson, to Pete Graham, and to you for listening, and the Whitby Town manager Lee Bullock as well, of course. And yes, Saturday the 4th of July for that big game at Mask United to kick off pre-season. But for me, it's bye for now.